Today on this 2001 Honda CR-V, we're going to be installing CURT Hitch part number 13314. Before we get started with our hitch installation, we're going to go ahead and show you a couple of the final install dimensions, which are going to help make choosing your hitch accessories a little bit easier. From the top of the receiver tube opening to the ground is going to measure 17 inches, and from the center of the pinhole to clear the spare tire on the rear is going to be approximately 6.5 inches. And now we'll go ahead and move on to our installation. Okay, the first thing we're going to need to do is over here on the passenger side of the vehicle, go ahead and lower down the exhaust system so we have some more working room. There are 3 exhaust hangers that we're going to need to remove the exhaust off of. There are 2 here at the rear, one on the inboard side and one on the outboard side. And then if you follow the muffler forward, there is one just forward of the axle. And once it's off there, we'll just go ahead and let the exhaust rest on the rear half shaft. We're actually start off over here on the driver's side now and go ahead and point out the mounting holes we're going to be using to attach our trailer hitch. The middle hole we're actually going to be using as an access point to get our hardware inside the frame. And you'll notice with the kit that there are 2 different length bolts. So for the rearmost attaching point, we'll be using the 7/16 carriage block along with the 1 3/4 carriage bolt. However, for the forward side hole, we'll be fishing in the same block size, but the carriage bolt itself is going to be 1 1/4 in length. And that's going to be the same on both the driver's and passenger sides of the vehicle. So at this point, we can go ahead and start fishing our hardware inside the frame. And what we're going to do is take the threaded end here and go ahead and insert it in through the attaching hole and back out our access hole. Go ahead and take our block and slide it on and go ahead and put that inside the frame. And again, follow with the appropriate length carriage bolt. But once it's inside the frame, go ahead and take the other end of the bolt leader and go ahead and pull it down into place. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the forward attaching point. Just remember on the forwardmost hole here, we want to use the 1 1/4 carriage bolt. Okay, we want to go ahead and repeat that setup for the passenger side of the vehicle, and then we can go ahead and hang our hitch up into place. I do want to note before we put it up that there is a centermost attaching point for the hitch as well. That's on the tow hook here at the end of the vehicle. We're going to be using the provided U-bolt that comes with the kit, and we do want to go ahead and put the U-bolt on first before we put the hitch up. When I put the hitch up, I've actually just gone ahead and attached to the forwardmost bolts on the frame first on both the driver's and passenger side. And then from there, we can actually rotate it up. Now that'll allow us to not only attach to the U-bolt in the middle, but to the frame bolts as well. And we're going to attach the hitch to the carriage bolt using the 7/16 flange nuts. With everything hand tightened down, I'm going to go back through and torque each one of the bolts down now. We want to verify with the directions the specific torque rating for each of the bolts. When tightening the U-bolt down, we want to make sure we tighten it evenly so that we have an equal amount of threads protruding through both sides. Then with all the bolts torqued down, we just want to make sure we put our exhaust back up on its hangers, and our installation will be complete. And that will conclude the installation of CURT Hitch part number 13314 on a 2001 Honda CR-V.